wanted to ask something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Julie, how is it relatively easy to change your home club when you need to, when you've completed a level and you need your VPE to
Yes,
sign off on that?
You have to change your home club 1 or 2 days before.
1 or 2 days before.
And then you change just the button, which was that when I entered.
So it's a simple process.
And that is attributed and will go the end of a level to that club.
Yeah.
You just have to ask, or not you don't have to, but it is nice to ask the vice president if he needs that level, if he wants that level, because at some time the club I gave all my hours told me, now we had enough, now spread the wealth and give to another club. And then I went to second club who told me, we don't have enough members and we don't have any hours and it is a waste. So I gave them to third club and they were very happy with it. But it was very easy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You just have to, one thing important to explain to vice presidents or base club managers, which can be, of course, also president and secretary, that besides approving it in the base camp, you have to go also to Club Central in Toastmasters International because they are not connected.
That's right, yeah.
So they have to declare in 2 places. If not, they are not declared.
Okay, thank you.
So would you like to see the evaluation and feedback?
Yeah, if we could, thanks.
Yes, please, Julie.
Yeah. It seems only 1, but in fact there are 3 different tasks in it, in 3 different meetings and 3 different speech. So I think they should have told from the beginning the 3 tasks of, that is the only one who has 3 tasks instead of 1. But it is why we will understand deeply what means evaluation, Smedley style, really helping someone. So you have to give a first speech and then listen to evaluation and incorporate in a second speech. And understanding now deeply why evaluation is so important, then you can evaluate someone. These are the 3 projects. And here, at the beginning, you are explained all the 3 you have to do. You can do the same speech, and I think it is recommended because a professional speaker always gives a speech many times to improve, but you don't have to. You can take one thing from one evaluator or even from auto-evaluation sometime and improve the second time the speech. And that is one project I begin to tell when I was there to my Firebirds online club that you can do without being on pathway. You don't have to wait to give a speech, listen to a good evaluation, and then give it again. And then evaluate someone. It is, everyone can rehearse and be ready with that example, for example. Now, one problem for me it was that at the beginning, because after I allowed my pop-ups, of course, which was the first problem, this screen came very short, very small. And I didn't see the arrows here, left and right. And so I had to put my my window big in order to see everything. And also I didn't see this arrow here, which lets you go from one page to another, or one chapter of the project.
Julie, I think that that's a very important point in the navigation. Once we, as Pathways Guides, get into our virtual support sessions, I think the navigation is one of the key elements that will support people, along with some of the language and terminology. Now, I heard you say earlier that you felt that the education transcript was an unusual name to give that area. Are there any other terms that you found intriguing or confusing?
Yes. For example, when I finished the project, it shows launch. It was as if they wanted me to begin again. But launch for them means you finish the project and you can open it again if you want. If you didn't finish a project, it is activate, for example. And you see here, yeah, on level 4, I was 3. So I can mark complete. Now they ask me to mark complete. I do. And now it recognizes launch, but asking me to evaluate the planning and implementing. The evaluation is not absolutely necessary. It comes a letter to you telling now you have finished level 3, please evaluate it. It means I evaluate those who wrote that project. So if I tell evaluate, it comes here and I can tell what is my opinion. It is valuable or not. I can agree or disagree and also write comments. And sometimes I did write comments and I didn't like very much for some reason. And what I didn't like is some project in level 2, which had a terminology very high, big organization or level, let's say. Now I submitted my answer. And now it, instead of evaluating, is launch again. So now I just have to wait for this level at least to the VP to go. I was Basecamp manager, like secretary, for about 2-3 months. And I could see the other side of the mirror. And on the other side, the Basecamp manager get a letter and also get an announcement in as Basecamp manager to ask, yeah. And another problem for me is that they corrected it. You see here, I go check compatibility, which is very wonderful. But if I click on check compatibility, nothing happens. For me, I didn't understand why. Because you have to go down under it, and then the check compatibility appears. So small things like that disturbed me a lot at the beginning. And also when I went to Navigator, who has a page which explains how to navigate the Navigator. Because it has 5 different kinds of navigations.
Julie, thank you so much for walking us through in your path and your levels. We really appreciate what you have done for us today. It makes so much more sense to me. And I know that I can be a little more enthusiastic now when I'm explaining that to those groups whom I am supporting. So could you please give your applause in the online way, which is this. The waving of the hands is applause in the deaf community. So would you please give applause to Julie in the online way? Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you very much. And I have to tell you, I love Pathway. I complain from time to time, but it changed my life.
And I think it will change many others. I'm keen to know how well this session suited your needs today. I'm launching a poll. Would you please take a few seconds to answer 3 simple questions, and then we will wrap up for this evening. First question there is, how well did the presentation meet your needs today? And just a matter of choosing from the multiple choice. Second question is, how well did the Pathways topics appeal to you in the beginning? And thirdly, how well do you now understand the ways in which a Toastmaster works within the paths and levels? Thank you for those who are answering the questions. I'll wait for a second or two for those others to put them in place. And whilst I'm waiting for that, I'm looking at the text chat to see what Matt is saying, and for him the cameras aren't working, but he's waving. So the poll tool won't work for you, I don't think, because it requires a different entry level for you into Zoom. So I will publish the polling in a moment and I will tell you the results. But thank you for that question, Matt. This is a new technique for me in Zoom and I'm quite liking it. You might want to consider it for your virtual support sessions so that you've got a little bit of feedback from those. So if you're all done, I'm going to end the polling and then we'll see the results. I'm going to share those results with you now. So Julie, you'll be pleased to know that you've got 100% there for 4 out of our participants there on how well the presentation met your needs today. And I understand so well the second answer there. We want more. The second one, how well did the Pathways topics appeal to you? Quite useful. Thank you for that feedback. And for the third one, the majority of people found very informative, but need time to process. And 1 or 2 thought it was brilliant. I get it. Thank you so much for attending today. Really appreciate your time and the way in which you've come into the meeting today via an iPad. And I noticed that by now, Adrian is now in his venue ready to present. And I understand that others have come in via voice only and that you have been able to enjoy the presentation from Julie. Once again, I have to say thank you to my wonderful Pathways pioneer, and we wish you all a good night.
Or a good morning for me.
Or a good morning to you, Julie, and a happy breakfast. Thank you, everyone. I'm now going to stop the recording.